Welcome back. Today we will discuss sums of random variables. Last class we discussed maximum and minimum, right. So, given n random variables x 1 through x n, we figured out how to given their joint CDFs, we figured out how to get the distribution of the minimum and maximum. Today we will discuss sums, right, sum over sum of xi's. So, first of all, so let us say that let us just take two random variables, let us say x and y random variables on omega f p. So, you have two random variables x and y on omega f p. Just for you to remember the picture, you have omega and your x comma y is a map from omega to R 2, right, and given any Borel set on R 2, the pre images are f measurable, we know that, right. Now, the question is, if I take, so if I define z of omega equal to x of omega equal plus y of omega, right. So, for every omega, x of omega comma y of omega is a pair of real numbers, it is a point in R 2. I am interested in x plus y, okay, which means I am looking at the random variable z equal to x plus y, which means for every omega I have z of omega equal to x of omega plus y of omega, and I want to ask what are the statistical properties of z. In particular, given the probability law or joint CDF of x and y on this on R 2, I want to figure out what the CDF of z is, right. That is the question at hand. However, before you go that far, you have to convince yourself that z is in fact a random variable. What do I mean by that? Z must be a measurable function, z must be an f measurable function. We know that x and y are measurable functions, right, f measurable functions, but we do not know if z is always a measurable function. It turns out this requires a proof. Okay. So, and the proof is actually fairly simple. It exploits the fact that it uses a fact from real analysis. It uses the fact that the rationals are a countable dense subset of R. Okay. So, let me write this down. So, z is indeed a random variable on omega f p. In other words, I have to show that, so I have to show that sets of this form let us say I have omega such that z of omega greater than little z. All right. So, I have to show that these sets are f measurable, right, or equivalently less than or equal to, it does not matter, right. If I show this is an f measurable set, z is indeed a random variable. I only know that x and y are random variables, correct. So, what I can do is I can write using the fact that rational numbers are a dense countable subset of R. Dense by the way, do you know what a dense subset means? So, a dense subset of let us say a dense subset of a metric space is a subset such that the limit points of that set is the whole space itself. So, the set, if you collect the set, if you take the rationals, the set of all limit points of the rationals is in fact the whole real line, right. Every real number can be written as a limit of a sequence of rationals, right. So, that means, so which means that rationals are dense in R, right. So, using this fact we can write as follows, we can write this is union q in q such that omega for which x bigger than q and y bigger than z minus q. which is the same as saying union q in q x greater than q union y greater than z minus q, and the union is over the whole thing. So, whenever what I am saying here is whenever x plus y is greater than z, strictly greater than z, there always exists some rational number q. See, there always exists a real number q such that there always exists some real number such that x greater than that real number and y greater than z minus that real number. But since in the vicinity of any real number I can find a rational number, right, I can also find a rational number which satisfies that. Now, why am I so worried about a rational number? Because I want to induce a countable union, right. So, I want to write this as a countable union of these guys. Now, if you look at this, so I have just written this as well, I think I messed this up. I think this should be an intersection, isn't it? Should this be an intersection? Yes, this should be an intersection, right. This should be an intersection. So, this is f measurable. Why? X is a random variable, that is f measurable. So, because y is a random variable. So, this intersection that is f measurable, and I have a countable union of f measurable sets must be f measurable. Okay. So, sum of two random variables is a random variable under no further conditions, right, it is always a random variable. Similarly, you can show that product of two random variables is a random variable, okay, similar argument. Anyway, so we are not discussing products now, we are just discussing sums. Is this argument clear? It uses the fact that the rationals are dense in R. Okay. So, even just looking at this equation, you can easily figure out the CDF of Z, right. This expression itself gives you a in principle a way to figure out the CDF of Z, because you can write probability of that, which will be the 1 minus the CDF is equal to some probability of the countable union of a bunch of these are complementary series after all, right. So, you can use some probability properties to eventually figure out this, right. In principle there is no problem, right. However, so in the special case we will in the special cases where x and y are discrete, and in the case where x and y is jointly continuous, we will derive more specific formulae. Okay. We have the expression simplifies a lot more. So far everybody with me? So, if you are looking at, so you are basically looking at the probability that, let us say this is the probability you want, right. This is z is equal to x plus y, right. So, if you are looking at, let us say you are given a CDF. So, let us say this is my xy plane and my CDF is something on this, see joint CDF is given on this, joint CDF x and y is given. So, it will start off at minus infinity, it will increase and go to at minus infinity start off at 0 and go to 1, right. It will be some 3 dimensional surface, 3 dimensional figure on this, correct. Now, what I want is the probability that z is less than or equal to little z. So, I draw the line x plus y is equal to little z, and I am looking at the total probability mass sitting on this side of this line, below the line, correct, fine. So, that is what you have to figure out. So, you have to look at the joint CDF and figure out how much of the probability lies below this line, right. If you in general this the joint law may consist of some masses, may consist of some densities, it may consist of some crazy stuff like Cantor function or whatever, right. It can have all sorts of things lying here, you have to somehow add up those probabilities, right. In the case when x and y are both discrete, the job simplifies a lot more. That is because if x and y are both discrete, you will have only, right, it will take only a countable set of values, right, and for any given z you add up all the masses sitting on this side of the line, right. In that case that should be easy. So, in the discrete case it is very easy, and in the jointly continuous case is also very easy, because you have a joint PDF which you can integrate over the set, correct. So, those two cases we will cover. So, let us say that, so this is what you want, let us say first assume, so this is what we want, assume x and y are discrete, and if x and y are discrete, I know that my joint PMF is the complete specification of the these two random variables, right, with given joint PMF P x comma y. Then probability that, so if I want f z of little z, is equal to, I will simply sum over all the x's and y's such that x plus y is less than or equal to z, right. So, I will simply write this as, so I sum over all x and y such that x plus y is less than or equal to z p x comma y of x comma y. So, this I can again write as sum over p x y of x comma oh wait, so okay, so let me, so this is joint CDF, isn't it. So, actually let me write this is easier to get, just a minute. So, for the discrete case I should just do this, because z after all will also be discrete, because x takes only countable values, y takes only countable values, x plus y will take only countable values, right. So, I can actually go for the PMF, right. So, I can, instead of writing down the CDF, let me just do this. So, here it will be, this will become x plus y equal to z, right, and this will become, so there was nothing wrong with what I was writing earlier, but this is simpler, right. So, this I will sum over all x, correct. So, I am summing over all x y such that x plus y equal to z. So, I might as well put y equal to z minus x, right, and sum this PMF. Okay. And if you know the PMF of z, you can get the PDF, CDF. Okay. So, you are summing x out, so this will not depend on x, it will only depend on z, right, you get your PMF. And so, this is in general, okay, this is a general formula. In particular, if x and y are independent random variables, then I can simplify this further. I can write p z of little z is equal to sum over all x. So, this will become p, so this will product out into the marginal PMFs, right. So, you will get p x of little x times p y of z minus x, right. This is only true if x and y are independent. So, this is like a discrete convolution of the two PMFs. right. You would have seen convolutions in your signals and systems, right. So, this is a, so this is denoted by P x star P y. So, discrete convolution of the individual PMFs or P y convolution P x, it is the same thing, right. F convolution G is same as G convolution F. This okay. So, if you are given two independent random variables and you want to find discrete random variables, and if you want to find the PMF of the sum, you will just go ahead and convolve the individual PMFs, but only if they are independent, otherwise you have to do this, right. This is the more general formula. Okay. So far okay. Let us do an example. Let x 1 and x 2 be Poisson random variables, independent Poisson random variables with parameters lambda 1 and lambda 2, and let us say you write z is equal to x 1 plus x 2, then P z is given by P x 1 convolution P x 2 of z, right. You know these marginal PMFs because they are given to be Poisson, right. So, P x I of x will be equal to e power minus lambda I, let me call it k, okay, because it is just a integer value random variable, P x I of k over blah 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 over k factorial, right, and this is for k greater than or equal to 0. Actually, I should write k in integers. Now, let me try and do this convolution. So, P z of z sum over k equals 0 to z e power minus lambda 1 power k by k factorial times e power minus lambda 2 power z minus k divided by z minus k factorial. So, now this looks ugly as of now, but you can simplify it if you note. So, what you will do, so this looks invitingly like z choose k, isn't it. So, what shall I, if I put a z factorial here and divide by z factorial, I will get a nice term, right. So, let me write this as e power minus lambda 1 plus lambda 2. So, these guys I knock off, I get it out, okay, over z factorial summation k equals 0 to z z choose k lambda 1 power k lambda 2 power z minus k. Did I leave out anything? I think I am fine, right. So, that is a binomial sum, is not it. So, this looks like lambda 1 plus lambda 2 power z, this is just the binomial expansion of. So, z is all. So, I am just looking at z in integers, right. So, this will become, if you just write this out, this will become e power minus lambda 1 plus lambda 2 lambda 1 plus lambda 2 power z over factorial z, right, which means you get another Poisson, right. So, if you take two Poisson independent Poisson random variables, the sum is also a Poisson random variable whose parameter is lambda 1 plus lambda 2. In fact, you can show that this holds for even sum of n independent Poisson random variables with parameters lambda I. The sum will be also Poisson with parameter sum of those lambdas. Okay. Sorry?
Is it set plus k number?
This one?
K number set plus.
Yes, yes. So, this holds for z in 0, 1, 2 dot dot dot, right. These are all for this is distribution over integers, non negative integers.
So, is that k element of set plus or set?
Correct. This is an element of z plus, right. So, let me just write 0, 1, 2 dot dot dot, okay, whole numbers.